I'm Jenny Brocky. Welcome to Insight. Tonight, the great Telstra debate. Should Telstra finally be sold off?
Well, you can stand here and you can't get any phone coverage with CDMA. Walk to the other side of that BP sign and you can again talk to the world.
I don't think we'll have any voice once Telstra is privatised.
Once you leave Broken Hill, you get a good coverage, but I mean, we're only a very small town out here. We're in the middle of nowhere, so to have a mobile service in itself, I think it's a wonderful thing.
My major problem with the telecommunications in the Donnybrook Shire, the lack of mobile service, lack of coverage, it has a drastic effect on my business.
How are you?
When the school does things that have to be done through the internet, we just can't do them.
Progress is being made on all fronts.
The federal government seems determined to push ahead with the final sale of Telstra. With promises of extra money for rural and regional services, the government believes it's time for full privatisation. Others disagree. Later, the Communications Minister, Senator Richard Alston, will join me, as will some critics of the sale. But first, Insight travels across Australia to look at who's satisfied with Telstra and who isn't. Our first report is from Lara Cole in rural Queensland.
Drive west of the small central Queensland town of Blackall and you're on the road to Eastwood Station. Not far from town, the bitumen runs out. Out here, mail is delivered only twice a week. There are no daily newspapers and only 2 radio stations and 2 television channels. When it rains, these unsealed roads turn to mud. But it hasn't rained at Eastwood for a very long time. Charlie and Jan Gall are checking the water for the few stock left on their station. Drought is tough, but it's accepted as a bitter part of life in this remote place. What the Galls find hard to live with is the telecommunications drought they're caught in.
And I've drawn you this little picture to try and show you how it happens. This is Blackall in the middle of town, and in that dark bit is town, where they all are on copper wire. And then they drew this circle around here, which is measured 32 kilometres from the post office.
Eastwood is 31 kilometres from the post office. It falls just 1 kilometre short of Telstra's zone for remote customers. That hurts. People outside that circle get subsidised services. The Galls don't. They're inside what Telstra calls a donut, neither close enough to town to benefit from local services, nor far enough out to receive special assistance.
The whole thing is self-sufficient. There is no electricity going to it. It charges its own batteries.
This solar-powered radio concentrator is how Charlie and Jan receive their telephone services from Telstra. They share the tower with their son Peter and his young family, who also live on the property. If the Galls' home had crossed Telstra's magical 32-kilometre line, there would be a satellite dish sitting alongside their radio concentrator.
Ellen.
As part of Telstra's assistance for remote customers, the Galls' neighbours, who live outside the donut, were offered free 2-way satellite broadband access.
But that then left us out in the cold, and it's the people that live in that donut shape around the town that I'm concerned about, because we're still on radio concentrated telephones, which are fine for voice. We don't have a problem with them for voice, but they were never ever meant to carry data.
And that includes the internet. The peace at Eastwood is palpable, but the need to communicate with the outside world is pressing.
This is my head office here. I mean, today I'm doing a little bit of bookwork because, the 30th of June's not far gone, and we've got to...
Charlie would rather be working outside, but he has a business to run.
We sell sheep and cattle over the internet. We daily want to keep up with wool prices, cattle prices and sheep prices.
But his internet speed is excruciatingly slow.
I'm afraid between 9 and 19 kilobits per second is really not acceptable to us. I think if you go for general city person, business person, a speed of between 9 and 19 kilobits a second, you'd hear the outcry all over Australia.
What makes it even more frustrating for the Gauls is that it looks unlikely to ever get any better.
Those of us that are sitting in this little donut, as it's referred to, we see no opportunities for further upgrades at all. And partly because we're such a minority group, for example, in this shire, I estimate there are 20 families that are affected by it.
We're going to be close to being on time.
Jan is heading to Pentwyn, a neighbouring property an hour's drive away.
Hello kids, how are you? That's good.
Michelle Rooney and her family also live inside Telstra's donut.
Yes, Mr. Merritt.
From their home, Michelle teaches her 4 children through Longreach School of Distance Education, the old School of the Air.
Mum found it now, Mr. Merritt.
Technological advances have enormously improved the way isolated children are taught. In some places in Australia, distance education schools have become virtual classrooms. But there's no chance of that happening at Pentwyn.
When the school does things that have to be done through the internet, we just can't do them.
Well, I'm looking for a website called Harry Potter Warner Bros. But it won't come up.
Bob is a huge Harry Potter fan. As part of his schoolwork, he's been asked to search websites to recommend them to classmates. We time his attempt.
Is it up? What do we do? Well, guys, I'm going to take 15 minutes. Is this going to work? 20 minutes. Is it up?
Oh, you can try it. It's not gone through or no? It's gone through yet.
It hasn't even come up, no?
I know.
After waiting for 15 minutes, the page crashes. Without even a wave of a wand, Harry Potter has disappeared. But that's nothing unusual at Pentwyn.
You get very annoyed, but you just expect it now. Even just like we looked at a clearing sale the other night and they had pictures. We weren't too sure what the pictures were because no subtitles came up underneath. And so we just left it on while the pictures were coming up. Well, the first 3 pictures were with machinery, which wasn't really what we were looking for. And the first 3 pictures took over an hour and a half. So it was, after that we just gave up. We didn't need to see the rest.
Yes, Tim, what's your question? Well, we really
A Year 1 class is in progress at Charleville School of Distance Education. In the past 10 years, technology has opened doors to allow these long-distance teachers instant communications with their students.
So it's like in Panda, so it starts with the letter P, and that's right at the very top.
But technology has not been shared equally. The term digital divide has been coined to describe the Telstra haves and have-nots in the bush. It leaves these teachers in a digital dilemma. Should they use the technology available and leave behind the few left in Telstra's dead zone, or should they hold back the whole school?
If, for example, if you are emailing students a PowerPoint presentation, we have to think about other ways of getting that presentation to students who have landline connections and slower speeds.
Back on Eastwood, Riley Gall looks out over the property his family has owned for nearly 100 years. In a few years' time, he'll start school.
We are most concerned about it. We've become quite agitated about it, really, because having seen the advances in the last 10 years, it's almost impossible to imagine what might happen in the next 10 years.
After spending most of their lives on the station, Jan and Charlie will soon retire. Their son Peter will take over. Before they move away, Jan and Charlie would like to leave a parting gift. If they could get their wish, it would be improved telecommunications for their children and grandchildren.
We don't expect to have a state-of-the-art hospital right beside us. We don't expect to have a university right here. But because we don't have the benefits of those sort of things, I believe that